Good evening, Rokan. Thank you for tuning into Fire Chicken Review, where we talk about custom gaming products for the living card game Legend of the Five Rings, made by Fantasy Flight Games. This evening, I have a special treat for you. I'm doing my second review of Tabletop Gaming Solutions products that specializes in making tokens that are 3D printed for L5R. If you don't recall our previous review, we actually covered some honor dials and honor bid dials that Tabletop Gaming Solutions works with. Just to quickly go over it again, here was the Phoenix one. And I have one for each of the faces. You can check out the other review, but I can show you quickly here. These are absolutely beautiful. I love that they're just magnetic, connect to each other. And as you can see, it has all the clans and the Imperial symbol, unicorn, dragon, you name it. And if you didn't see our review about these bit dials, definitely check out our review. You can check our history and see some of our other reviews for that. Getting right into our main topic today, though, we were blessed with Tabletop Gaming Solutions gifting us a token box that has been widely popular amongst the community. I'm wondering, is it something that they want to use? Because if you're like myself, you got all these special tokens that you go out and you get from these local companies and fan people that are making some just beautiful products for this amazing game. And so you want to store them in something. So as you can see, I have hidden behind these cards the token box that I want to talk about. But currently, I want to hide that just for a minute, just so I can show you what most of us, if I don't knock my camera, what most of us have been using. So some of the stuff that you may see, if we want to go really old school, is, so we're using the cardboard here. We have just all our tokens in the bag. This is really bad. This is like entry level. Just grab a bag, put your tokens in. You probably don't want to show up to too many events like that. And then some of us will upgrade to getting boxes where we can store our decks and have some of our tokens underneath. This is an Ultra Pro box like that. And then you might want to upgrade. And you're like, you know what? I want to represent my clan and I want something that's great. Well, I may be giving away this a little bit ahead of time, but I think this is absolutely beautiful and works wonders. So what Tabletop Gaming Solution has done is that they found a market for making token boxes that come in a variety of sizes. I was blessed enough that I was gifted a couple of the different size trays so that you can see what you can put into it and how it could be useful for you. So I will be linking Tabletop Gaming Solutions Etsy store and all that in the video below so that you can check it out for yourself. But basically, just like the dials I was showing you, these are all magnetic. And when I say magnetic, they're actually pretty strong magnets, so it just snaps into place, has that nice clink sound that I like. And just like the dials, they come in all 7 of the clans. And I believe if you contact them, they're probably more than happy to do some of the other clans that have just started to be appearing in the game, such as the Mantis clan and you know, the Spider clan that other people really enjoy. Of course, being Fire Chicken Review, we were blessed to get the Phoenix because that is our favorite. And I do like the design of the Phoenix on here. I think it turned out really well. Now, the interesting aspect about 3D print designs, I think it looks absolutely gorgeous from this distance. If I zoom in here a little bit, and this is nothing against the designer. I think this is a 3D print aspect. When I zoom in here, you can see that it becomes a little bit more rough around the edges. But it's not too rough. It's just the way that 3D print designs are actually made. There's no easy way to hide anything like blemishes or whatnot. But if I go back out, it's not something you're going to see unless you're really looking up and zooming in close. I think these actually work perfectly. If your opponent's looking at it, or if you're just having it normally sitting there, it's going to look fantastic. You just have to remember the material it's made out of. And I just have to mention that because I do try to make honest reviews. So I find that if you're fairly close in, you can see some of the flaw aspects. And if I was to show you again some of these bid dials, you can see similar things. Like you can see this line right here and this line here, and some of the imperfections. But no one wants to be perfect. I think these work amazingly and do a great job, and that's just the design. So right off the bat, so getting with the tops, I wish I had a few more that I could review, but I think basically if you like your clan, your model, you're probably gonna like the tops here. These tops, just taking it off here, I really like the Phoenix one here. It's a perfect design. The colors, the orange and the black, it works really well. And it has 3 magnets on the back. I find that it's a little bit interesting. When I take off the top, you'll notice that all the inserts afterwards are all 6 magnets, except for the top. I'll have to ask the designer why that is. It seems interesting that the top only has 3. But when you're playing around with it, it actually takes quite a bit of effort to take off any of the tops, or sides I should say, but it holds in there. I'll fill this up and I'll show you some more, but basically I got the 3 different sizes, as you can see, so different dimensions, so you can put material in, and I'll start filling this up. So again, I think the top looks great. If I take the top off here, I think this is an interesting design in here. Lots of room. I would have liked to have had this a little bit further in. I think this is this way, just so it's nice and symmetric, and also to give it that reinforcement so it actually holds well together. Now, if I was to throw in some tokens, you'll see just the depth. So if you haven't seen these before, except for my 12-sided dice, these were actually back in the AEG era, these dice. I love using these. If you can find them, I recommend getting these dice. A lot of players, including myself, will like to use these for keeping track of stats in the game. So I like to carry these nevertheless, removing my 12-sided die there. And you can see that it fits nicely in here. Just an example to show you some depth here. That works pretty well. Taking those out, if I wanted to put in, just to show you how much can fit in here, using some of Tabletop's tokens themselves, you can put in quite a few of the faces here. I can put in, I think it's 5 do I have in here? 6 actually. So I can put in 6 of the faces. The top will go on nicely here. The only small recommendation, I'm not sure if I would put in these other magnetic tokens into this box. I don't find that there's much issue, but just because there's magnet on these tokens and magnet from the box, you probably don't want to put those per se in, but these are 3D printed. You're probably going to have these on the outside anyhow. It's more of just putting your normal tokens. So the 3 trays that came with the review that I have here is that you have the token tray here, a little bit of a deeper tray, and the one that I kind of like is that it's just split into 2 here. It goes a little bit deeper. Again, if I was to put my dice in here, you'll see that basically all my dice, and I think I have a few more. So my 10 dice representing the 10 clans, and the 3 extra ones there, if you can see, it's the Spider Clan, the Mantis Clan, and the Imperial Favor. Fit nicely into one side, which I think is awesome. I love being able to use that. And then you can put some tokens on the other side, and it'll fit in quite nicely. So I just got a few tokens on the side here, just to show you really quick, using some of my official Conquest tokens, a game that I absolutely adore and love. You can see that there's all kinds of room in here, and they'll fit in perfectly. If I was to get one of the trays, I would definitely recommend either getting the split tray here and filling it up, or getting this size tray. Now, I believe for any of these trays, you can get them the bottom ends, and what you'll notice is that taking this tray right here, that on the other side it has magnets and there's no bottom to it because it's made, each one is custom produced so that it can go on top. That being said, if you want to switch these, you can easily just take this one, move it to the bottom, and so forth. And in this case, there's one final tray that came with it, and this is the bottom. Nice and smooth. It'll look great on your mat. The only problem I have with this tray is that there's not much room to put tokens in here. So if you look, just normal 12-sided die, there's not too much room to put good size tokens. The only thing I would really put in here is maybe I'll put in like my first player initiative token or some like honor status tokens I would put into this tray. Something that you only have a few. And if you're using just the standard cards that come with the game and the standard cardboard, you can fit a bit more. But as you can see, you could put like a few. I put like my honor and dishonor cards in here if I had like the original ones. And actually that this is my first time trying it. This actually fits in pretty well actually. So you can have that in the bottom. You can have a few other things in there. And if I was to take my bag, just give me 1 second. Sorry, I just went to go grab a few of my tokens here and actually grabbed from my bag. And don't worry, I know it's blasphemy. I've never actually unpunched the original tokens because immediately I knew in this game I wanted to upgrade. But I found the perfect fit, the base dial that comes in the game. And, you know, this isn't showboating too much, but here's the base dial that comes in the game. And then that's what you get. Or you can use Tabletop Gaming Solutions or a variety of custom dials out there. You're probably going to upgrade. Unfortunately, these do not fit into here. I don't think they were meant to fit. They're just... You want these to be bigger so you can see the numbers and whatnot, but it's unfortunate that it doesn't fit in the token box that come in from the same company. However, these actually fit. I just tried it out a second ago. If you're using this honor dial, it fits in perfectly, and actually there's not too much wiggle room, so it'll fit in there. You can put your dial like that. Maybe some of the rings into the bottom tray. It's not going to put too many. Unfortunately, it won't fit all 5. And you can see here that there's no real good spot to put them in this tray. But if I was to put my rings in here, I can't fit all 5 in here. Or if you were to use their own ones that they have, Tabletop Game Solutions also came up with these ones that I did review, and you can see that in my review from a previous one. And these will actually fit in nicely, and there's lots of room to throw in a few more tokens on the side there. So that's all to say that I think overall this product is really interesting, and I'm looking forward to using it, especially representing my favorite clan, the Phoenix, and being able to, if you're a fan of multiple clans, being able to swap out, replacing the face that you want. I think that's fantastic. I just found the use for this is putting the cardboard dial in here, and probably like some more of like the cardboard stuff. I put like the first player initiative token and whatnot. But other than that, I'm a little bit, I'm not a big fan of using this smaller one. I think it's just too small. But if you're going to use it for the dial, it fits in perfectly. If you're going to use it for the honor status tokens that come with the base game, this will also fit in not too badly here. So you can put in that base aspect. So that's kind of nice. And it's a little bit cheaper than buying the bigger ones. Price-wise, I think this product comes out to a good price. Of course, it's going to depend on where you live. You can check out the Etsy store to see the exact prices, and you can get custom orders. And this is the aspect of the L5R custom products that I'm really a big fan of, is that you don't just have to get one of the clans. You don't just have to get in this specific size. You can contact the company, Tabletop Gaming Solutions, and say, hey, I'd like to make a custom order, and I'm sure they're going to be willing to work with you. Overall, I think this product is awesome. I look forward to being able to use it. and showing off with my metamates. So if you've been on the fence about getting one of these, highly recommend checking them out. Also, if you're an organizer like myself, if you're a local meta organizer, I think these are an inexpensive way to give some custom token products out for some league plays and whatnot. If you've seen some of the official ones, FFG does have an official token box. It's a little bit hard to get. If I recall, you have to reach Hashimoto status twice. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. And so that basically means you have to win 2 large tournaments before you can get their wooden token box. So if you want to still represent your clan and not get an undefeated Hashimoto's status box, because they're a little bit hard to get, I'm still trying to achieve one myself, then these are an excellent, not as expensive way to get a nice token box. Really big fan of the magnets. And I forgot to show here. Very strong. I've been playing with the dials for a while. It won't come undone. I can drop it here. It's not going to come undone. Very durable, which is important. I apologize about the noise in the back there for a bit. But this is going to do the trick. And if I was to show you next to my deck box here, just